Hello, mathematicians. Today we're going to be learning about ratios. More specifically, how to compare ratio relationships using graphs. To get us started, here we have three ratio relationships. At Frosty's ice cream shop, there's a special where 3 large sundaes cost $28. At Cool Cones Creamery, we have a table with the number of large sundaes and their cost. So 2 large sundaes cost $17, 4 large sundaes cost $34, 6 large sundaes cost $51, and 8 large sundaes cost $68. Finally, we also have Sweet Scoops Parlor, and here we have a coordinate plane which tells us the number of large sundaes and their costs. So 1 large sundae here is $8. 2 large sundaes cost $16. 3 large sundaes cost $24. 4 large sundaes cost $32. And 5 large sundaes cost $40. And then we want to find out which ice cream shop has the better deal. In order to figure out which ice cream shop has the better deal, we're going to go ahead and graph our information for each ice cream shop. Before we do so, we're going to make a table so that it's easier to graph. So at Frosty's ice cream shop, we know that 3 large sundaes cost $28. So now we're going to fill in the table with equivalent ratios. And so if we get 3 more sundaes, we're going to end up with 6. And if we get 3 more sundaes, it's going to cost an additional $28. So 28 plus 28 is 56. Every time we increase by 3 more large sundaes, we're going to have to increase the cost by $28. And that is how we complete our table for this. So notice every time the large sundaes increase by 3, the cost is going to increase by 28 to maintain that equivalent ratio. Then we have Cool Cones Creamery, which already has a table, but we're just going to add one more. Notice here that 2 large sundaes cost $17. So this table is increasing by 2, and the cost is increasing by 17. So if we add 2 more large sundaes, that is going to be 10 large sundaes. And then if we add the cost of $17, that is going to be $85 for 10 large sundaes. Next, we have Sweet Scoops Parlor. So we're going to take the information from our graph and put it in a table. So we know that 1 large sundae is $8. We know that 2 large sundaes cost $16. We know that 3 large sundaes cost $24. And even though there's a pattern, I'm just getting this information from our graph. So 4 large sundaes cost $32. And 5 large sundaes cost $40. And again, this pattern is that for every 1 large sundae, the cost is going to be $8. So every time we get 1 more large sundae, the cost is going to increase by $8. So now that we've created a table for each, let's go ahead and graph this, starting with Frosty's ice cream shop. So here we have our coordinates. We have 328, and we're going to look at our x-axis, which is on the bottom. We're going to look for 3, and then go up to 28 and put a point there. And then we're going to look for 656. So we're going to go over to the right to 6, and then go up to 56 and plot that point. And here we can't plot anymore, but that's okay because 2 points is enough for us to draw our line through it. Next, let's go ahead and plot Cool Cones Creamery. So we know that 2 large sundaes cost $17. We're going to go to the right to 2 and then up to 17. 17 is in between 16 and 18, so we're just going to put that point right in between. And then we have 434, so we're going to go over to 4 and up 34 to plot that point. Then we have 651. We're going to go to the right 6 and up to 51. And 51 is in between 50 and 52, so that's why that point looks like it's in the middle there. And then we can't plot any more, but this is more than enough to draw our line through it. So notice we have Frosty's Ice Cream Shop and Cool Cones Creamery now plotted here. Finally, we have Sweet Scoops Parlor, and we know that 1 large sundae is $8, so we're going to go to the right one and up 8. And I know that looks very close to the other line, but as we do more points, it's going to look a little further. And then we have 2 16, so we're going to go to the right 2 and up 16. And then we have 3 24, so we're going to go to the right to 3 and up to 24. Then we have 4 32, so we're going to go to the right 4 and up 32. And then we have 5 and 40, so we're going to go to the right 5 and up 40. We can plot more for these, but we have more than enough points to draw our line. Okay, and those are the additional points if we did keep going down in our table. So here we have Frosty's Ice Cream Shop in pink. We have Cool Cones Creamery in purple and Sweet Scoops Parlor in blue. And we're going to talk about what these lines mean on the graph. So we know that these points represent the costs for a different number of large sundaes. Notice that the pink one is kind of on top of them, the purple one is in the middle, and the blue one is kind of like on the bottom. And so based on our graph, Frosty's Ice Cream Shop has the most expensive large sundaes because its line is at the top. Cool Cones Creamery is in the middle, so their large sundaes are not the most expensive, but they're not the cheapest either. And then we have Sweet Scoops Parlor, which has the cheapest large sundaes because the line is at the bottom of the graph there compared to the other lines. So the best deal here is Sweet Scoops Parlor.